Okay, we have some minutes. February 19th, my friends. I looked them over, looked to be complete, accurate. Fred with that one change there at the end. Yep. Okay. Then I will make a motion to approve.
Second. Mike? Yes. DJ?
Yes.
John?
John? Yes. All right. Regular scheduled reports. We have Mr. Kiko here from the zoning department.
We'll have a copy of February's activities. We had 6 permits. 4 of those 6 were set 3 buildings. And the other, you see residential out of there, those are working Woodacre Trail for those people that are reconstructing, but they're not changing the footprint of their house at all. I think they have to replace like 18 rafters and some drywall and maybe some studs. They didn't know for sure, so that's what that is. And we will be reviewing some conditional uses. The Board of Appeals will be reviewing some conditional uses. I think we have the ice, or the pond, I think, is on the agenda for this month. And we may have a couple people requesting a variance. I don't know where that is. But I think everything's in for the pond. They have to provide me with and the chief as well, a report on the wind turbines, and I don't know if they've gotten that to us yet or not, for the maintenance schedule and everything. But it should be coming in. So that's all I have.
Okay. Questions for Frank?
Nope.
Mr. Warren.
Okay, Auburn Township Road Department report for February 2018. The month had 9 weather events, which required 15 rounds of plowing and or de-icing. The total material usage for the month was 351 tons. This indicates that each truck was applying 4.68 tons of road salt per round and returning to the garage with just less than half a load of salt and achieving satisfactory results as well. The total year-to-date at February's end was 1,780 tons of de-icing material used. Our committed amount that we've been doing is 2,000 tons. The records that we've been keeping over the last 12 years since we went to an all-salt program, that the 2,000 tons is the correct amount, plus or minus 20%. The most we've ever used was 2,400 tons. And if I don't need to purchase, I don't have to purchase minus the 20%. I do have 421 tons outstanding order. We have another 200 tons that they've allocated for Monday. We have 493 tons yet to purchase off of last year's contract. And what I'm anticipating, based upon the averages of the months that we have, is at the end of the year we should have anywhere from 500 to 700 tons of last year's salt in our dome. So we're doing good. Cold patching was done on several roads and will continue until the asphalt plant's open. I think everybody's noticed our roads took a hit this year. A lot of freeze-thaw cycles, and us as well. I actually went through 8 tons of cold patch and another 2. So typically I go through just 1 truckload in a winter. So when the plants open up in typically mid-April or so, then we'll be on the hot patch. There was 1 full interment at the Shadyside Cemetery. The Mini that we purchased is working as we expected. It's fantastic, low PSI on the ground. The new mats that we purchased as well, got rid of the old beat up plywood. It's working wonderfully. So we did minimal amount of ground disturbance in there or damage to any of the grounds going in and opening the grave. Small road signs, we had a small rash of thefts here. Auburndale Lane Road sign and the Eastwood Drive sign and signposts were taken. There you go, Mike. These signposts. These were replaced and documented, and we do have a running inventory on our signs to make sure that we have when they're missing and when they get replaced. Dominion Energy Natural Gas Betterment Loop, you guys have noticed on Taylor May Road. It's gradually moved along Taylor May Road and should be east of the Auburn Center Road by the end of the week. I did see they crossed today, so they're making the crossing now. I believe by Friday they'll be on the other side. And this does work in concert with what we're trying to do with our capital improvement project on Taylor May Road. Tree removal is finished, betterment loop will be done and out of our way, and then we can proceed with our cross culvert pipes and taking care of those. Roadside cleanup's tentative date, April 21st, is what we were talking about. It coincides with Earth Day, which is April 22nd, Sunday. This is also after the Kensington High School spring break, which should make available volunteers. So if you guys would want to decide on that, that's the one that we, Nancy and I talked about as well, and I believe, Mr. Everly, you discussed it with the Scouts?
Yes.
Okay, so the 21st?
21st is good. How about you guys?
Hope it doesn't snow.
That's fine.
All right.
You can polish up on your hot dog cooking skills, Mike.
Yeah, I'll try to brush up before.
Okay, then I'll secure a dumpster for that day through Penn, Ohio as well. And typically in the past it's been donated. Continuing dialogue and meetings with the Geauga County Department on Aging did help clarify their position on the senior trash pickup days that we participate in. Any mattress, bedding, and or upholstered items must be bagged or wrapped in plastic for the county employees and their volunteers to handle them. If they're not wrapped, they won't pick them up any longer. The reason being is bed bug infestation, I guess it's all around, is what they're worried about. And we did talk to them as well about entering homes, and this was through a collaboration meeting with all the townships, the villages, and all the entities with the Department on Aging. We had that on the 14th of February. And they won't be entering homes as well. And we're going with the same program as them, and this is one thing that has to be spelled out to the seniors if we are to pick up anything that I described there.
So they need to get things to where?
They need to get things to their porch, to the garage, to the deck, somewhere outside, and as I said, any bedding or upholstered items should be bagged or wrapped in plastic.
Okay, so inside the garage is fine?
Inside the garage is fine as well, yeah. What it is a liability issue and damage as well to the person's home, or someone going, lifting their freezer up the stairs and gets hurt. These are things that they took into account. So, let's see. There's additional meetings held throughout the month of March. The locations are listed in the senior news, or it can be found at the Department on Aging. I believe there's 4 more meetings that they're having to discuss the bed bug issue and how it's impacting the service that they provide with the senior trash. And that's all I got for you.
Any questions for Emmer? Mr. Troyan?
I don't have anything in particular, so I'll concede my time.
Mr. Kavanaugh?
I got a couple things. There's a request, what do we sign here?
The requisition?
Yeah, that's it, lost the word. For some repairs at the building at the park. There's a pad that lifted and kind of pinched some thresholds and some of the trim around the doors. This could be ongoing, but this immediate repair will shorten trim boards on sides of doors and recap with new aluminum caulk to match, reattach there. Holds, there's 3 doors, he's got to work around all 3 of them. $350. I talked to the contractor here today. I don't think you're going to get a better price on that, so I don't know if you need a motion on that or anything, but
Yeah,
we did discuss it, so.
I'll take yours as a motion, I'll second.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
Yeah.
And Fred, you're going to be getting another one of those requisitions for some emergency repairs on the furnace at Adam Hall. the one that runs the main hall. We had an event up there Friday. Furnace was kicking on, and you heard it running, but it was the one that heats the bathrooms and the kitchen area.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the new one's working in the storage room. So what we did is we just, as we determined something wasn't quite right, we opened those doors, and it kept the place very comfortable. But the next day, Matt Blowers and I got together, and yeah, the big unit wasn't working. We found a contractor out of Chardon the chief recommended, and they were all over it. They were on a call in Hudson, and they got there at 4 o'clock, and I don't think it's going to be a terribly expensive repair, but it was an emergency call because there was a 7 o'clock event that night. So
Is it running now?
it's running now. It is.
What was the total on that Blue Pines?
350
350.
for what I read over 3 different doors.
Thank you.
And the other thing is, just earlier tonight, had a quick meeting with folks that help with the Memorial Day, the veterans, and we talked earlier in a meeting about relocating at least a portion of this year's ceremony because of the construction, and we're certainly going to be in some state of disrepair over here where we lost the road, and potentially we're going to be building a new parking area. So what we came up with, and this is real preliminary, thinking about using Adam Hall to read the list of names. I think that works a couple different ways, just because we'll be inside, there'll be seating, and we've had some events in the past where we should have more comfortable area to do that. So at least for this year, we're going to try that. Maybe it'll stick. We talked about the possibility of a parade from Adam Hall to Shady Side. I don't know how that's going to work. Speaker either at Adam Hall, or we could do a 20-minute thing down at Shady Side when we do get there, and do the speaker and the volley and, you know, the musicians and soloists there. We've been able to get both Pastor Ron from across the street here and Lucille from Community Church, and we like having the churches involved. So we're going to talk to Pastor Ron about doing the 9 o'clock invocation here, because remember, he always had to get back for his 10 o'clock.
Right.
And then Community Church would set their service back to like 11, 11:30 after the museum was open, closed. The reason I bring that up is because even though I don't think we want to do any, for the reasons I stated, plus the parking situation, we don't want to do anything except for maybe semi-public, but they do want to lay the wreath here.
Oh.
They do want to lay the wreath here. That's not something that they're understandable. This is most all cemeteries get this treatment, and this one should as well, even though what happened happened. So we're going to try to work that in maybe around 11 o'clock. I told Mr. Petrich what I'd do is I'd take last year's agenda and rework it with a bunch of these changes and send it to him in the next couple of weeks, and then we can tear it apart and start over. If that's,
Yeah.
because
So you're still going to start at 9?
that's what I was thinking at Adam Hall. There's going to be some outdoors because we're going to do the volley and everything at Shady Side. And I don't know if we do the entire first portion of the program here at Adam Hall. Obviously, there wouldn't be a volley or laying of the wreath. It's going to be different. It's going to be different, and I think we'll make it work. Anyway, like I said, you guys will get a copy, and Nancy and I'll go over last year's, schedule events.
It's going to be kind of hard to park up there.
At Adam Hall,
No, up here.
which is why we probably won't put it on the agenda at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
the veterans do want this as part of the ceremony,
Yes,
but
yeah.
maybe it won't be a public part of the
Okay.
ceremony this year.
'Cause I doubt if we'll have places to park.
I don't think we will.
Any cars, so to speak, and if it does rain prior, we did go in and shore up the east-west portion of this driveway. We went in and dumped a couple loads of stone in there and tried to get it back so you could at least drive, access the
Sure.
cemetery and everything, but it's,
Well, I guess the one thing that seems pretty clear is the parade from the school over to here is not going to happen.
right,
So that's a lot of the parking we use that morning
that's right.
is over there.
So we'll all be parked at Adam Hall.
This would, instead, we would commence about the same time at Adam Hall at 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
Like I said, they're talking about the possibility of a weather-permitted parade from Adam Hall to Shady Side. I don't know. But like I said, I'll put an agenda together.
Okay.
You guys will see it. I'll get it to Patrick, and we'll tear it apart and start over if that's not right.
Okay.
But that's why we kind of started early this year.
Well,
So,
tentatively, that sounds, we work out the details, that should be fine.
that's all I have.
okay. One thing, I went to the Blue and Gold banquet on Saturday, and it's the big event for the Cub Scouts, and I have to say it was really, really well run, and the kids were quite impressive. And they took, I think 5 kids went across the bridge, so to speak, as the ceremony, and went into Boy Scouts. So we do have some, 101 is still doing pretty well, and real happy about that. I expressed that, how we want to support them, and also that reminded them that we'll be bringing in a famous chef for the cleanup day, and he has a very busy schedule, but I'm sure we'll be able, I don't know, what's the budget for bringing that guy in, PJ? Double what we did last year, because I know it's with all these,
instead of 5.
all these food shows now, he's got a schedule. So anyway, it was good to see that these families are all really carrying the ball there.
And we had a good turnout at the Silver Gold banquet for the Girl Scouts. That was a week ago Sunday. We took the proclamations down for all the bronze, silver, and gold winners, and it was a decent turnout. One of the Bainbridge trustees was there, Sarah Latcherette, head of the Girl Scouts from Northeast Ohio. So, but it was a good event. A lot of girls there. They had it's not World Friendship Day now. It's World Something Day, but it's they kind of. I guess it's got different names in different areas, but there's probably a couple hundred people there, so it's a good turnout.
Okay. Just to continue on, you want to go ahead and let's officially set the 21st to be roadside cleanup day?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Make a motion to
Roadside
that.
cleanup day, April 21st, 8 a.m. to noon,
Okay.
and we'll have that at the road garage.
Okay. I'll second that.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Did we do that at Adam Hall last year?
Yes.
That's not.
No, roadside cleanup at the garage.
Yeah.
No, last
Large
year.
item.
The roadside cleanup will be at the garage.
Yeah, no, last year, what did we do?
At the garage.
At the garage.
Still at the garage?
Yeah,
Because I know.
yeah, large item.
Large item.
It's a large item.
So
So,
large item we got there because it's unlike there's so much traffic with the
yeah.
backhoe and stuff that didn't want to tear up the
Plus it
garage.
gave us a big area to queue all of the cars. I mean, we probably had
Yeah.
25, 30 cars queued up there at 7:30 in the morning when we started at 8, so.
Yeah, and they were queued up after we stopped, so.
I guess, do we want to adopt, do you want to discuss this at all? I think we should, how we're going to handle the senior pickup that we're gonna follow the county wrapping requirements, and I think that what we decided, Mike Ludwig had a great idea. We used the mini excavator on Saturday. We will take unwrapped things at the large item cleanup, and we're gonna use the mini to pick this stuff up and throw it in the bins. So
Right.
nobody's touching it that way. As a matter of fact, we're gonna make an effort to pick way more things up with that, because it has that thumb. We'll pick way more things up than we have in the past.
Also save some money we had to spend to delouse the road crew last year.
Yeah, well, it sounds like
That's every year.
we had Bob from Department of Aging came down, and we chatted with him a little bit. They actually had a guy who got bed bugs and infested, and you know,
Because they're
that's
physically
they're
carrying
tracking
them out.
it down to that cleanup day. So it's not something that, it's not where they're trying to put a program in place, because there is no issue at all. And of course, I don't think anybody here wants to risk that. I know we haven't ever had that in the past, but, so we'll continue to take
Yeah.
unwrap things on Saturday, but I think since that Thursday and Friday is not our program, so to speak.
Right, so we have to go by their guidelines.
That's exactly what I.
And this is for what will be the June cleanup, not the April.
Yes,
20th.
large
Right,
item day.
yeah, we're just doing roadside cleanup on April 21st. So, so let's make a motion to embrace the county Department of Aging regulations for the senior pickup day. And I think we need to make an effort to publicize that, because it is a fairly large deviation from what we've done in the past.
Right.
We want to go ahead and set the date for that too while we're at it here?
Yeah, that would be
You got a calendar, you got a calendar.
That's the Thursday and Friday.
Thursday.
May 31st
Friday.
and June
June
1st.
1st, right, yeah.
Could I ask something?
Sure.
When you have the big item drop-off, does that mean not just a senior housing that you're talking about, but for anybody who brings a mattress for the drop-off?
Yes.
It has to be in plastic?
No, we just said
Not at
it
the drop-off.
does not have to be in plastic.
Yeah.
This is for the items that our guys are physically picking up to carry it out of houses for seniors, right?
Mhm.
Right.
That if you bring something, furniture or something on a trailer or in a pickup truck, it does not have to be wrapped on that Saturday. Is that all, did you get all that, Fred?
Mhm.
Okay.
Second.
PJ?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, John?
Yes.
Thursday, Friday, and then the actual drop-off day is the
Saturday.
2nd, right?
Correct.
It's June, first Saturday of June.
It's June 2nd.
June 2nd. Okay. We've had that for the last 30 years on that thing. Okay, I just wanted to add to the road department. We purchased a different truck here last meeting, and because of electrical issues we've been having, and a lot of other people have been having with these international trucks. We're not unique at all, and lo and behold, Mark Sturm's truck still has some kind of ghost in it. What is it going on now, Emmerich? The brake lights or something?
Tail lights.
Tail lights just go on, go off. They can't really be controlled. So I guess it's a furtherance of, we'll hope that we can solve this electrical problems we've been having with the truck.
Well, that's one of the issues with the multiplex wiring. It's all computerized, it all goes through a unit, a module, and you can't trace it down just with the 12-volt probe as you did in the past. So it does require diamond logic softwares with the computer and the expertise to trace these little bugs down. If you guys did notice there, we did put a requisition in for that mechanic to come back in and solve that problem.
Okay, one other thing I want to have to say, the fire department put on quite a nice pancake breakfast for those that attended. I highly recommend to continue with that silverware program that you instituted.
Yeah, we had 622 the first Saturday and 322 the second Sunday, a little under 600.
Okay.
Went good.
Good.
And yes, the silverware is a definite improvement.
So, well, I know it's a bit of it's a bit of a burden for the fire department to do this. And one thing we do want to make clear to everybody, this is not put on for raising funds. We barely clear our expenses in doing this, but it's really an opportunity for all the residents to come to the fire station, meet some of the firemen, see the equipment, see the facility, and
It's also a good community event for people to get together.
right, and it's that right, hey, spring's coming, everybody come out of your houses, and
The other thing I'd like to add to that on coattails, what you were saying about the Boy Scouts, without them, I don't know if we could have it.
well, I was going to mention them.
They are a great contributor. They're always there every time for us. We had 11 Scouts both Sundays. They did a fantastic job at helping us put it on.
And I have to tell you, you have to be really proud of those kids, the way they behaved, not behaved, but handled themselves. They were like professional waiters.
I think we have a great troop.
Taking trays from people, helping people that couldn't carry their tray, and it was a real nice event, John. So pass that on to everybody in the department for the board. I really I hate to see us not be able to ever not do that.
Well, thank you, and I'll pass that on. It's getting tougher for us because a lot of our staffers are working 2 and 3 jobs and they have limited time. And no, we plan on continuing with it.
Yeah. Okay. Fred, what do you have for us?
I've got your regular reports in front of you. Appropriation status report, fund status report, and revenue summary status report. Payment listing with warrants that are in front of you. Warrants number 4343 through 4362, totaling $42,528.06. I also have the permanent appropriations in front of you. And these are the same as the temporary appropriations, because when I did the temporary, I just did the full appropriation. The only difference is you'll notice that I added under land acquisition and improvement $114,905 for capital outlay, and it's not shown on your copy, but under Auburn Community Park there is $3,452 that I added as an appropriation under that category.
I thought somebody was like Mr. Softy was coming in.
So if I could get a motion to pass the permanent appropriations as shown on the resolution, that would be great.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
That's all I have. Everything else is under new business.
Okay. First item here in some old business is the Maple Shade Restoration Project. We do have a the drawing here, gentlemen, that you can peruse. It's a preliminary drawing to show the proposed new parking area and the landscaping as proposed by Joe Drake. Essentially, the change is that on the east side of the building, we're going to put a parking lot in there that's capable of holding 16 cars. And to access that parking lot, you will enter into the existing cemetery drive, which will be upgraded to be about 12 feet wide, and it'll be a one-way drive that will come into in off of Washington Street. When you exit the parking area, we're going to continue on around the cemetery drive and go out onto Auburn Road. So that'll be a one-way drive, and what it'll do is it'll give you plenty of time to queue up into using the stoplight then to go east or west or go south. And it'll also get rid of, in the front of the building here, there'll be no parking. There will be a swale, which is part of the county's project to do a reconstruction, so to speak, of Washington Street. And I'll just interject right now, and I think both of you know that project's been postponed to next year by the county. So actually that's going to work out even better for us. But the drainage, we opened up cut a little thing to drain, because the water's been running up at the building here, and we've had a lot of rain, but we cut a little swale or so into that catch basin on the corner of the building. It handles all the water, no problem at all. And Joe Katowski right now, he's evaluated this, and he thinks that you can slope the parking pad, so all the water on the pad will run to the north and then follow over through to the west and catch up in those existing drains. We may have to run a line, but he doesn't think so. He's working on that still. We will put a curb in over here so that in front of the well, and we'll get the water away from the edge of the building here. So,
and he's got a concrete walk from the parking area across the front of the building,
right,
and then continuing across the street, because we're going to lose some parking over
there. We're going to lose
too.
parking over at the town hall, so people who use the town hall are going to have to go over and use this parking lot. We're probably only going to have maybe 4 spots at the town hall, and you won't be able to double park the cars like we've been doing, and they're not real keen on us, what we've been doing, but county's very anxious for us to get this project underway. You can see that he's replaced a lot of those pine trees with some maples and oaks.
Things with roots.
Huh?
Things with roots.
With roots, yeah.
Taking water to the north?
That's
the parking area?
That's what he says, yeah.
I'm just picturing here, it looks like it's kind of, well, obviously it does slope this way, because that's where all the water's coming down.
It's coming now, but most of this water is coming down from the hill of the cemetery and going through it. We're going to take that, he suggests, let's take that culvert out at the edge of the thing. Now that section of that drive's got to be beefed up. We're going to have to put, and the plan, of course, is to beef this up and make not a road out of it, but make a very sufficient driveway, And so in doing that, you got to move to the south of this leg and to the west of this leg.
Well, and there was a challenge there too, because part of the deed out here designates everything from that driveway east as a parade ground. Because there was an attempt by a previous board to turn that into cemetery lots, and that wasn't possible because of the parade ground designation.
You know, there's actually probably 30 lots that were all surveyed over there. Now, they're not for sale. But we haven't sold any lots over there since the 80s. So it should be a lot safer for our employees to come in. Fred, Jane, Nancy, Frank, and then any citizens coming in here. We basically have 6 spots here if you get from the mud to the mud.
Yeah.
You'll be adding 10 spots. And you won't have to back out into Washington Street, which at 5 o'clock is rather challenging.
No picnic at 9:30 when we leave here.
Yeah.
We gotta get some numbers on this.
Well, yeah, I've already started to do that. It's not a massive project. The biggest issue is I'm waiting to get an estimate for the trees and all the plantings. That's probably going to be the bulk of a lot. We kind of, Emmerich and I kind of talked this over. I think we're going to go ahead and get Todd Lamb, who's done the paving for the driveway into the park. And let's see if we can't make a project for a couple of days, and we'll actually pave this ourselves with the help of Todd. He brings a couple of guys, and he has the equipment, and
Are we excavating this?
yeah, there'll be some, we'll have to do some earthwork. I think we'll probably
There'll be plenty of it.
a little bit of earthwork, not a ton.
Would it be worth doing it in gravel first, just to get a base before we try to top coat?
Well, we did put, how much gravel did you put up there already?
That's just 304. I mean,
304. We need to go in on,
something
we're gonna widen this up with some bigger stuff, some, you know.
I'm talking about the parking area itself.
Oh, the parking area? I don't know. I think we'll be down to clay myself. Probably, you might have to have some stone in there, but it'd be real nice if we could get away without having to put drains in that piece right there. If what he's saying is right, I'm not a civil engineer, and he is. So,
I'll look at all the options.
the other thing we did is we sent this over to Dave Luca
Shane has it right now.
at
on his
the
desk.
engineer's office
Yeah.
to get some input from those guys. So the project's moving along a little bit. Once we got this information, we'll get some pricing for the various phases of it and put a budget to it. I'm hoping that it'll come in where we can do all of the plantings, and get those trees back started. And I think you saw this, PJ. Yeah, you were here. The postcard. There's a postcard from, it was mailed in the 70s, but the picture was taken long before, when there was no trees.
Yeah.
It looked like it does right now, no trees.
Yeah, that, and the date on that was real confusing, because obviously those trees have,
72 or something like
72.
that.
And somebody just dated it, that's probably when they found it or brought it or whatever, but obviously those trees have been there. Well, Jack Tretheway is up there, he says he never remembers it being without trees. And Jack's 150 years, he's 150 years old. So.
He's 150 years old. I'll take you back into the 30s.
Yeah.
So that's that project. The township welcome signage, which includes some signage for the road garage in this building.
We get that second,
We got some more draft proposed designs. And I think they're zeroing in on at least 3 designs that we could present to the board.
Okay.
So we're making some progress.
Okay. Next we've got, we had an executive session after the last meeting on this Ravenna Road property. We have, can we come to some kind of a conclusion on that?
Well, we had a proposal, not so much an offer. Early plans for development there are calling for work for the developer to work with ODOT. They want to limit ingress egress off of 44 north of the interchange, and I'm sure that includes south of the interchange as well. Our parcel there, the offer was for a swap of parcels, which opened a couple of doors for the developer to put this road in to the east at least. But it also caused some problems because should we swap, we would lose our tax exemption, which we have on the parcel that he's interested in. There are some, I think, some interesting parts to his proposal, and I sat in on a couple of meetings and know that ODOT has been a big thorn in any development down there because they do want to limit ingress egress. But we did have a discussion about it, and there's some pros, there's some cons. At this point, I'm going to make a motion in the affirmative like you're always supposed to. After the discussion we had at the last meeting, I'm going to propose that we counteroffer with an amount on that.
Okay.
Any property to sell.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion on that?
Well, I think, as we talked in the past, we have, the township has no real use for future plans for that property.
Right.
I would be willing to sell the property for the right price. So I think going along those lines to have our next move be that we would want to sell the property, and then we should come up with a price.
That'd be our counteroffer.
So that would be our counteroffer. So based on
I
that,
think the actual issue though is we need to decide if we're going to do a land swap, and let's solve that first. And I think as your motion is to do a land swap.
well, you have to do that motion first.
Right. Is that right?
That would be in the, well, okay.
Yeah, based on some of the stuff we discussed,
Right.
such as the tax exemption.
So
and this,
we'll
that, and the other
do,
thing.
the motion on the floor is to do a land swap.
I will make that motion.
Well, we got a motion and a
We
second.
have a motion
and a
already.
second, so we got to
Okay.
do something there.
So,
All right.
And that's to develop a counteroffer.
well, that.
Let's vote on that. We can
Let's
go
vote
back
on
and we
that.
can go back and do the other one.
Then we'll go back and do the
Decline
Yeah,
to.
okay.
just since this was already moved.
Fred?
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
No.
Okay, now I will make a motion to decline.
Well, not making, that's going, again,
That's true, you're right.
we're back to the making it in the affirmative
Motion in
again.
affirmative then on the property swap with this developer. Motion to,
I'll second.
Mike?
No.
PJ?
yeah, I'm voting no there.
John?
No. Okay, you want to develop a letter and send that to the gentleman, PJ, and we'll see what goes on from there.
Yeah, and then the counter proposal will be in the office.
Okay, in some new business, we have some, spring's coming. We got some landscaping quotes in here. JFD has handled landscaping for several years. They've done a real stand-up job. I think Emmerich, you've had any issues,
No, they've done a great job.
good to work with?
Absolutely.
So we have it broken down into several things. One is flower bed planning and maintenance. Next, we also have the lawn maintenance, which is mowing the grass, obviously. The park field mowing, and the park fertilization quotes. We do quite a bit of fertilizing up at the park to keep that grass of an athletic toughness, I guess. And we saw last year when we did that picnic up there that grass is pretty darn tough. As soon as it had a little rain on it, it bounced right back and was they were playing on it. So anyway, so let's go with the flower bed planning and maintenance. It's for the Adam Hall beds, these beds, and there's actually a separate number that goes to the fire station because that gets taken care of out of a different account. So.
Okay, flower bed maintenance, JFD's 2017 quote was $39.74.61. Quote for 18 is $41.30.29. It's a $155 increase due to 4 new flower beds at the park.
I'll second.
And we're gonna, okay.
We'll do fire separate.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
AVFD flower beds, flower beds, 42509, same as last year. Motion.
Second.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John.
Yes. Okay, just lawn maintenance, that's the cemeteries and around the administration building, around the fire department, road garage. What am I missing? I think that's generally all the grass.
And the parks is separate.
Park separate.
Parks are separate. That's at $18,425.95.
So moved.
Second.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John.
Yes. Okay, we go up to the park, and you've got the field mowing. We also got a quote from Radix. They wanted to do it on a per cut. JFD is willing to do it on a lump sum.
That's 15 cuts, by the way.
Yes.
And how much is that? Is that enough?
It was in the past, yes.
15 cuts?
Yes.
So I'm going to make a motion that we go with JFD again.
I'll second that.
Okay, that's $7,126.88. Okay.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John.
Yes. And then the fertilization, once again, Radix also quoted us. We had JFD at $5,400 for 6 applications, and Radix for $77,6250 for 5 applications. Once again, I think JFD has a better offer for us.
And that was gone over, Mike Ludwig and I went over that.
What
Picked it
question
up
on
hard.
that, if I may? Are both those quotes for the same analysis on the
Yes.
fertilizer?
Yes. Okay. Motion to go with JFD.
Second.
Third.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John.
Yes. Okay, we have a letter, we have a Girl Scout project over at the park where she's going to create, Sarah Eshelman's doing this project. She actually came in here quite a while ago, made a presentation to us, and now she's following up. That she had to get their first approval to take to the Girl Scouts to do her project, so they've approved it. Now she needs she has a letter here for us to take back to them that we approve that. And her project is to put a little kiosk at the park where you can go in and pick up a book. It's an honor system type thing. Pick up a book, use it, put it back. You can take a book if you have a book you want to put up there. And she's also made arrangements that the library is going to stop by there once a month or so and maybe even put some books into this thing. So it's going to be a real nice adding to the park up there. For those who don't know, during the weekdays and the weekends, there are hundreds of people up there using the park. Not just one or two people. There's a lot. And I've seen, when they're playing in the fall, I've seen 30, 40 kids just on the playground alone because their brothers are playing on football or soccer. So that'll be you have that letter, Fred? Or?
Yeah, I think we already approved it.
Excuse me again. Can you tell me location of the park? Where's the location of the park?
Jeez, it's off of Munn Road.
One road?
Yeah.
Is it
Been
new?
there for 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah. Okay. We got it.
You'll help her site. I talked to her
Yeah,
dad.
sure, that's fine.
Friday night. And
Okay. I think this is you, Fred. AD&D and STD.
Short-term disability.
Okay. Maybe we had
thanks for
something
the
going on there.
clarification.
No. We have our life, accidental death and dismemberment, and short-term disability insurance will no longer be offered by Humana at the end of this month. And that's an insurance that we offer our regular employees, including the road department, administrative assistant, and zoning secretary. So I got some quotes on a replacement policy. Currently, it looks like Sun Life, which is offered by the Alpha Insurance Group, would be the least expensive option, and it's comparable to what we have now. It's the exact same benefits, and that would come in at estimated cost of $207.49. The other option was PEBA, Public Employee Benefits Association, which is associated with Burnham and Flower.
Mm-hmm.
And the total cost on that would be $277.80, again, for the same exact benefits. Unfortunately, I found out just recently that the Sun Life is an estimate, so he requested salary information, so that number might change on that. Otherwise, I was going to recommend Sun Life, but I have to wait for
Okay.
a final quote.
So we need to do this at our next meeting.
Yeah, it has to be
and-
done at the next meeting
Yeah.
for sure.
So we don't have a lapse.
31st
Exactly.
is the expiration.
Yep.
Just clarification, that's a monthly premium?
Yes, that's the monthly
What's that
premium.
compared to what we paid the Kanawha?
We were paying
$3 and a quarter.
Kanawha, which is Humana now, $348.55, and they really stuck it to us this benefit year. It went up by about $60 per
Because they
month.
want it out.
Right,
Yeah.
right. We also looking at a company that offers supplemental insurance that may be able to give us a comparable product, but I think based on our population of employees, we probably wouldn't benefit from their policies, so.
Yeah, this is an employee benefit that we have offered here for years, 25, 30 years, based on who the original agent was from what I can pick up. more than that. And it's kind of in lieu of carrying sick days to a larger degree. And it has been used, and it has served its purpose. So it's something we got to continue in some form.
All right.
So okay, we'll leave that on there for next,
I'll have
next
quotes
meeting.
next meeting.
Okay, Charter Communications franchise fees, $4,598.
Motion to put those into the land acquisition improvement fund.
One second.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John.
Yes. Okay, we took care of setting the date for the litter pickup event. We do have a quote from Penn, Ohio. Emmerich, you want to talk on that a minute? This is for the actual cleanup day itself.
Yeah, Penn, Ohio
in,
is...
in June.
Yeah, Penn, Ohio does an aggregate. He pulls all the providers, waste providers under his umbrella, Penn, Ohio umbrella. Makes it easier. Our neighbors use them to the north. Our neighbors to the west use them. I believe to the south they use them as well. And what he does, he provides for us, and he's been very efficient as well with keeping us with the dumpsters on that Saturday. Last year was, I don't want to call it an anomaly, because in the late 90s, you guys remember, we did 14.
Then, but not
we did 14
since.
dumpsters. Well, last year we did 14 again, and it was a challenge to keep up with the amount of trash that we had in there. But he had trucks there, Johnny on the spot, swapping these out. There has been a change in some of the environmental as far as the tires are issued. We do have, I think, an increase of $70 for the haul and 50 or 30 per ton, I believe. I don't have it in front of me. And typically our tire grant does cover that 100%, and in the past it always has. Last year, once again, 2 full dumpsters of tires is something we haven't seen.
Just for the record, we'll start saying how many tires one person can bring.
6 tires.
And that is a state law, not
that's all you're supposed to
something
change.
that we
Used to be
came
8.
up with.
Change it?
Is it 8? I thought we
It was 8.
allowed 6.
It was
So
8.
we'll go with 8. We'll go with 8 then. But once again,
108, did you say?
we did have someone bring in more than that.
Well, you would have to do it 25 short times, but yeah.
Right. So yeah, this guy here, we worked well with him over the past several years, and I did go out last year for competitive quotes as well, and he did come in cheaper than the quotes last year. We're going to stick with this guy.
Okay, you want to entertain a motion that we go ahead with Penn, Ohio for the large item cleanup day?
I'll second.
Mr. Everly, I do want to note on the contract there, the Boy Scout donated dumpster is omitted on there. I put a call in today to him, and we'll get that. That'll be included.
And that is,
that's a 15-yarder for the roadside
but
cleanup
it's,
day.
that is, in the past, he's always donated
Donated,
that to
correct.
us.
And if you look
for
at
that
last
day.
year's contract, it does say donated. I think there's a $100 delivery fee or something.
Yeah, so it's a
trash
nice
is
little
all covered.
perk, because not everybody does this roadside cleanup. The Scouts all have a community work day.
And they all go out and they clean
Requirement.
the some roadsides, the ditches, and
Yeah, we've had 50 to 75 people up there on,
yeah.
depending on how you're doing with the hot dogs, so.
Yeah, we have a lot of, we have some people that actually go out in their front ditches themselves, and they pack their bags up, and bags of garbage, and they bring them up, and
Is the new sheriff going to continue the cleanup like on 44? The Scouts have been doing the
Yeah, we
slightly less
do what we call
traveled
township roads,
Yeah.
keep those kids off.
Yeah,
the-
Well, way back in the day, 20, 30 years
Oh, yeah,
ago,
we used to do
your son
44,
picked up
yeah.
44,
Right, yeah.
which is not a good idea.
Yeah, we've been keeping them out of traffic, PJ, as far as giving them designated
Yeah.
areas to pick
Have you heard
up, so.
anything, or is
No, I
the
haven't.
sheriff going to continue that program that McClellan had?
I don't know, but we can inquire though.
Yeah, because they find a lot. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's astounding what they pull up out of that ditch and set on 44. That's another program.
Couple cows you missing, or?
No, they can't drag this. But no, you find axles, you find all kinds of
And those
Unbelievable.
gloves and that, like, we would get a box of supplies. Did you arrange for those?
Nancy did, that
Nancy
was
does.
supplied to us, correct.
And that came from the Jaga
Jogger trouble
Troubles.
waste, yeah.
waste,
Yeah, they
right?
bring
So,
us garbage bags and gloves for the kids.
yeah, they had some like vests and stuff that were
Vests.
colored vests and,
Thanks.
yeah.
Okay, we need a vote. Mike?
Yeah,
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
yes. Thank you, Fred, for keeping us on point.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay, and we did large item, we did large trash. No PEC grant for community organization.
Yeah, I was contacted by NOPEC, and they have a grant they're offering to us that we can disperse to a community organization to hold an event, a public event. And the grant is for $1,500. And my opinion was, since the Boy Scouts have done so much for us, I was going to ask for a motion that we accept the grant and disperse it to Troop 101.
With the goal
And
being.
PAC 101, but how about, we need to also take care of the Girl Scouts too, don't you? Can we do that?
I don't know, I'd have to look into it to see if we can split it like that.
With the goal being
Think so.
we've already discussed the community picnic
Right,
along the lines of what we did last year
right.
in September. Some
Yeah,
form of
to
that.
help.
That would be the
defer
community
their
event.
costs
Yeah.
and.
No, they
benefit
put a
the
lot of
township as a
labor
whole.
into that, yeah.
I agree with John, we should be including Girl Scouts in this.
Okay,
Yeah.
Somehow, let's talk to them and see if we can't make it to the Auburn Scouts or something like that, you know?
do you want to do then a motion to do it for the Boy
Auburn Scouts.
Okay,
And that'll give us some leeway. Or if we can say Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and Cub Scouts and Brownies and then you gotta name, well, I can't even know them
Scout
all.
troops.
Auburn Scout Troops, there you go.
There you go.
Covers everything.
Okay. Was that a motion, John?
So
Yeah.
moved, whatever you said.
Yeah, we're looking for a second.
I'll second your motion, whatever you said.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
Yes. Anything else, gentlemen?
No.
Any public comment? Yes.
I had a question. I was unable to make the last meeting. Wanted to know what the result of your gentleman's letter to the city of Akron with regards to the logging at Ladue was.
Well, they hadn't responded.
Response.
Shocker.
We encouraged they hold a public forum or some event, something for the public to say their piece. They haven't responded to us. Let's see, some private citizen rented Adam Hall on the 15th. And I guess that would be the most public opportunity to address that. Should
The
you
board
choose to.
plan on attending that meeting.
Does the board intend on playing? I'm probably going.
You'll be there, PJ?
I don't think we're going as a board,
Okay,
but if
all right.
I don't know who's gonna
Private
show- who's
citizen.
gonna show
We
up.
know we'll be sitting
Who's
very
gonna show
quietly.
up?
Observing.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Oh, you're directing that to
I'm
me.
looking directly at you.
Well, okay. As usual, I have a question about two warrants. First one is 4356 for Judco, and the second one is 4362 for interstate billing service, which neither one of, well, I may have seen Judco before, but I don't know that I've ever seen interstate billing service. So, just curious about that.
And Mark, would you like to address that?
Judco is a bodybuilder for dump trucks, heavy trucks, and he did the repair on truck 15 for the hydraulic pump.
Okay, 15 is an existing one.
Is an existing.
Okay, okay. And the other one then?
The interstate, Fred, what?
Interstate billing, that was Rush Truck Services. I think they came out and did a mobile repair.
Oh, that's Rush Truck. They did come out, they did a mobile repair on 2 trucks, on truck 14 and on truck 18, which is my truck. Actually, Mr. Everly, you were there
I was there, I met the guy.
during that, yeah.
So Interstate is the billing service they use for their...
Correct, yeah. He's an independent contractor that utilizes Rush Truck equipment and comes out and does mobile repairs.
Mr. Everly?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to thank the road department for your prompt response Thursday night at Ice Storm to close down Stafford. We had multiple calls that night, a lot of power outages. 24% of Auburn residents experienced an outage sometime during that night. Unfortunately, First Energy was quite busy in storm mode. They didn't get power back up until, I think we got power back up Saturday night sometime. But Stafford Road was closed all day Saturday and Friday. They were supposed to notify me when they were going to reopen the road and they got things repaired. They never did. I found out yesterday afternoon that they had completed their work, and I called Emmerich and I think he went out and got the road signs this morning. But thanks again for coming out right away. We had multiple calls. Our fire department was tied up on stuff. That helped us out quite a bit, freeing up our resources to take care of other calls.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion, both motions.
So moved.
Second.
Mike,
Yes.
TJ,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
I'm good, how are you?
I have a proposal. I don't know if I need you guys to hear what I'm here for. Okay, but I need to ask you guys something. I don't know if I'm here at this meeting to do this or not. But I have concerns because I've resided on Stafford Road. You guys just heard the fire chief or whatever he is, Mr. Phillips. And he was chief.
Yeah?
And
How long have you been the fire chief? Chief?
22 years.
22 years. Oh, okay.
so my question, I guess I have it written down here, what do we need, emphasis on we, not me, but what do we need to do to get the speed limit reduced to 35?
Speed study. Speed study.
And how do I get that? How do we do it? How do we get that?
Well, the board does it. You can't do it. Has to come with official township letterhead. We request the speed study. What happens is they remove the speed limit signs, ergo it becomes 55 miles an hour.
Right.
Then what they do is they check the speeds of the cars.
They're already doing 55.
And they check the speeds of the cars, and then it's called 85 percentile. They go 85% of the average traveling speed, and that's what goes to the speed. And then it's journalized through ODOT. That's how that works.
Now, you say something about, they do something about after that, right in there, how do they determine the speed to put on it?
85% of the average traveling speed of
The
that
cars that are
road,
driving there with no speed limit signs
they
up.
use radar to track the speed. 85% of the average traveling speed they post as the speed limit. And then it's journalized at ODOT.
Okay, well, how about having accidents at the intersections at, what is that one road that takes you over to Auburn Lake? To Ladue.
Valley?
Valley. Okay, they've been having extra accidents there. I don't know if they, after accident, do they decide on maybe, and which way is
may
what?
come into play, and they do have, they have every accident reported. Every
Yes.
weather condition.
Is that public
Where were you hiding? I
You
didn't
go
see
through
you.
the engineer's
Did Fred
plan.
get
I
your
don't have
name?
that information
Sheriff.
here.
So you can put
Our sheriff would have the accident reports. The township
Fred will put your
board
name in the
is
minutes.
only able to
that you came. So
do
you
a
need-
safe and
we need to
reasonable
give you-
speed for
did he get your
subdivisions,
name?
and that's all.
Oh, okay.
We can only request the engineers to do the through roads.
Okay, I kind of gathered that through a guy named
Nick Gorse.
Nick, yeah, today. He said somebody he can do all kinds of things. He put a weight limit because of the frost right now.
The weight limit signs are up, and that's dictated by the engineers. They send us a communique down, and then we post those signs, and there's one at the end of your road. If you drive it, you'll see it.
I mean, down at Rapids?
44.
I
Rapids,
think there's one in Rapids too. That's
Rapids
Troy.
is Troy. They would
Okay, I have another
There's
question too.
44.
Okay, when you come off of 44 Ravenna Road, and you head east, as soon as you head east, you'll see a sign. If you read signs as you drive, instead of reading your phone or texting. Okay, if you look at the sign, it says 45 mile an hour. Right below it is a rectangular kid running across the road.
That was
It says slow children.
as a
How can you go
courtesy.
45 and go slow about it? For children.
As a courtesy, the people that live there have kids. As a courtesy.
How can you go 45 and go slow about it?
Well, then you just have to watch
You
your
know.
kids. Everything.
Okay, but he's answering you.
There's.
So what I'm
Giving
saying,
you-
it doesn't,
listen,
it looks kind
listen,
of dumb.
Listen, he's answering.
You want me to
It
remove the
looks
slow
dumb.
children?
Yeah,
sign?
it looks
Okay,
dumb.
I'll remove
Okay,
the
we're not
sign.
interested in that commentary. He's
That's-
answering your
Okay,
question.
what I'm asking though,
He's answering your question.
that's going east. That's going east.
Yeah.
Excuse me, don't interrupt me, please. I'm speaking.
Oh,
now. You
excuse
guys-
me, sir,
please
I'm
don't.
done with
You want to
you.
I'm trying to
have
speak
that
out.
discussion outside?
No,
That's
we're
right, interrupting
done.
me.
Excuse me, we're done.
I'm trying,
Take that
I'm
right
trying
out
to
in
get
the
something
parking lot. The
answered.
meeting
I'm
is
done.
over. Take it out in the parking lot.
Okay.
If somebody will talk
I'm
to
done.
you,
You talk to
go
me?
No,
talk
Ron,
to
I
him.
won't talk to you.
Well,
Go talk
anyways,
to him.
why do we have, this is for everybody too.
Yeah,
Mr. Everly?
I'm not
do I have to-
No, you have no obligation.
I need to ask about
You know,
the kids.
you remember the last
The
time you were
kids,
here
you
and
worry
the
about
sheriff
the
told you
scouts.
to not come here ever to this building again? Do you remember that? And I've been very kind to not say, no, you can't come in this building. But I'm not going to have you come in here
I'm allowed to come
and go
to a
on
meeting.
and rant and rave at
I'm
my
not ranting or
employees.
anything, I'm asking a
Do
question.
it in the parking lot. Find someone that'll talk to you in the parking
How's
lot.
come the
We're
kid-
not talking.
How come we don't have that kid both ways? Going east and coming back west? Where's the sign for the kids?